So what do you mean by working smarter and not harder? Do you really believe that? If you do, then listen to this podcast, because I'm about to debunk that and show you why that's not a true statement, or why I believe is not a true statement. You see, people are into euphemisms. They like these sayings that sound good, but they never really think about what it means. And then when they speak, and those that do understand, they don't realize that they don't know what they're talking about or why they're saying that. Now, I was guilty of that at once, but then I started proving all things, figuring it out, asking questions. And I came to a conclusion that you have to be smarter so that you can work harder and become better. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Show. I hope everyone's doing well. There are many euphemisms out there that people get caught up with. For example, if you can't stand the heat, get out of my kitchen is another one. Practice makes perfect. That's another one. It's not true. If you really think about it and you think outside the box. If you're watching this podcast and listening to this podcast on YouTube, hit the subscription button below. If you like it, please give a thumbs up and also share your comments and share it with others. Now, let me share with you some facts, some real world situations that you could relate with, why working smarter and not harder is not really true. At least in my eyes, and hopefully after this, you're persuaded to think a certain way as well. Let's think about the top athletes that you and I may know. For example, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Tom Brady, Floyd Mayweather in boxing, Mike Tyson at his prime in boxing. Top athletes in the world, top entrepreneurs and business owners, and salespeople, no matter what industry you're in. Those that are on the top of their profession are very smart, but they also work very hard. So for example, me being a salesman, entrepreneur, and business owner, I always look at the first thing to build a strong foundation based on fundamental principles. And once you understand that and you have that, and you're smart about how you go about selling and business, then you can work harder and smarter than anyone else. For me personally, I don't worry about competition because I focus on getting better at what I do. I focus on the customers. I focus on the end result, working on the process. So once you understand, or at least once I understand the fundamentals, I'm going to work harder than anybody else to be better at it. Does that make sense? So you got to ask yourself this question. Let's say your business is slow or is lacking growth, or your sales are down. You ever considered maybe you're not working harder because you didn't work smarter? Think about that. So working smarter allows you to work harder and be better at it because you understand it. I'm going to give you a personal experience. I used to be a marathon runner. I was city and state champion in high school in track and field. Had some scholarship offers to some major universities. I never went, but I did train myself for the New York City Marathon at 18 years old. I didn't have a coach at the time. I ran 150 miles a week. I ran 7 days a week. I didn't take a day off. Sometimes I ran twice a day. Once a month on a Sunday, I ran 30 miles. What is my point? The point is this. I worked harder than anybody, not only at my age, but those that were world-class athletes and runners. The only thing I lacked at the time, I wasn't smart enough. I didn't know enough. See, you don't know what you don't know at times, so you don't know what you're doing. You just do it, right? And so I did get hurt. after a while because I wasn't smart in my training. I was just running hard and not being smart. But I learned. So the bottom line is this. When you think about the top salespeople in their field, whether it's nationwide or worldwide or whatever the case may be, they work hard. They didn't get to that top by not working hard. But then they got to be even smarter and work harder when they're at the top. Because now you're a target. Now you got exposure. Now you're an influencer. Now you got people want your time and things like that. Yeah, you get paid very well. But you still have to work hard. Does that make sense, guys? So, no matter what you do, one of the things I've learned when I was a martial artist, the first thing I just wanted to fight. I didn't kick because I used to like to fight. And I got my ass kicked many times. So I learned, I can't do that. I got to be smart. So I started learning the right punch, the right kick, the right way of doing things. I started training harder than anybody. I was a white belt and I became a green belt in 30 days. That never happened in this martial arts school at the time because I wanted to be that good. So again, it comes down to working smarter, learning the basic principle, the basic fundamentals, understanding and then applying it so that you could work harder. Because top athletes, when they're at the top of the game and they want to be consistent for 10, 15, 20 years, they have to continue to work hard. Yeah, they're smarter about things, but they have to stay working harder than anybody else. That's the only way you stay on the top of your field. And when you're running a business and you've got other people, you have to be smart how you utilize your people. You have to work hard at maintaining the strong foundation, maintaining the right culture, retaining, their motivation, their inspiration, and courage. All of that is hard work. But when you're smart about it, it becomes easier work. Does that make sense? So don't ever believe, and I've seen a lot of talented people that were smart, but they were lazy. They didn't work hard because they depended on their talent to do the work. And that's a no-no. That's a case for disaster. Does that make sense? So just think about this, guys. Working smarter and not harder is not really a good combination, in my view. But you need to think about it. You need to ask yourself that question. Working smarter and then working harder to be better and become better is what it's going to take to get to the next level. Think about that. And then answer the question to yourself. For me, I already done that. This is what I do. No matter what project I take on, no matter what job I do, no matter what I encounter, I will learn the basic fundamentals. I will learn and understand it, build a strong foundation, be smart about it, and then I'm going to work harder at that than anybody else in the industry. That's just the way I am. That's the way my mind is built. So I hope this has been helpful. I want to thank you all again for being part of the Paul Cruz Show. If you like this podcast and you like and you're watching it on YouTube or listening to it on YouTube, please hit the subscription button below. Do share your comments and share it with others. Till we speak again, I say goodbye for now. And remember this: work smarter so that you can work harder to become better. Have a very successful day. Bye.